Channel 8 Update, I'm Patrick Ryan.
And I'm Olivia Connor. Oh, tonight we began with a bomb threat yesterday in Thompson Hall. A full evacuation took place, and the building didn't open until 5 p.m. The evacuation was purportedly due to a bomb threat that had been called in. A full search of the building was performed, and at 3:30 p.m., SUNY Fredonia released a statement saying, quote, "All clear for Thompson Hall. Threat was unfounded. Classes will resume in Thompson at 5 p.m., end quote. It is rumored that the threat was made by a student who did not want to take their midterm that day. However, many students reported seeing a threat written in a stall of the women's restroom, saying, quote, bomb 1016, end quote.
October is known as Queer History Month, and transgender writer and activist Julia Serrano will be talking about, quote, a social justice activist's perspective on call-out culture, identity politics, and political correctness, end quote. On Monday, October 23rd in the Williams Center, room S204, from 3 to 4:30 p.m., Serrano will be discussing the lack of awareness of prejudice and discrimination, as well as how social justice movements that may be too inflexible to Professor Jeffrey Ioane, coordinator of the Women and Gender Studies program and professor of Women and Gender Studies class 377 and 397 history, along with John Arnold, states, quote, over the last century, social justice activism has played a crucial role in challenging the prejudice and promoting equity for women, people of color, people with disabilities, LGBTQ people, and other marginalized groups. While most of us profess support for these past accomplishments, we may nevertheless resist never expressions of social justice activism or dismiss them as examples of all-out culture, identity politics, or social correctness run amok. End quote. Serrano will also be touching on these issues Monday. This discussion allows for campus and the community to become more aware of queer history and is as well as what women and gender studies programs do.
It's no secret that Texas and Florida are still reeling from the hurricanes Harvey and Irma, and the 2017 hurricane season doesn't end for another month and a half yet. Although the figures for damage costs are only approximates right now, Moody's Analytics estimates the combined destruction of hurricanes Irma and Harvey may cost around $200 billion. And that figure doesn't even include the much more recent Hurricane Maria that has left all of Puerto Rico without power. Naturally, it is going to require all hands on deck to help with these areas recover, and that's just what Chautauqua County has done. County Executive Candidate Michael Ferguson organized the collection, sorting, and transportation of 40,000 pounds of goods donated by the community for hurricane relief. Assisted Living Center Fredonia Place served as a drop-off site for the donations, as well as the Chautauqua County Mall. Many local businesses and families lent their time and services to help in the relief efforts, providing trucks and drivers and teams to sort the goods, according to the Dunkirk Observer. Ferguson commented on the relief efforts of Chautauqua County, saying, quote, I believe this spirit can transcend this event and show how true collaboration brings out the greatness in all of us, end quote. Fall is here, and so is Habitat for Humanity's Harvest Festival. Reporter Patrick Ryan takes us there.
Homes to be built in the local Fredonia area. A ticket into the event got you more than just a piece of paper in your hand. It allowed you to enter into raffles, get food, listen to local homegrown artists, and a cappella groups from the SUNY Fredonia campus.
Down the hall, maybe straight up the stairs.
That we wanted to create an event that could kind of give our members, the campus and the community, a way to get together to raise money for our local affiliate. So Harvest Festival, we came up with the idea actually because of Parks and Rec, because they have a Harvest Festival in it, and we love fall and we love bringing together people in one area. So this was like what we envisioned, and we are raising money for our local affiliate again, which is like branch off of Habitat for Humanity, which is an international organization, and the international organization helps build houses for families in need.
The Gorillas were contacted to perform, so that's how I originally heard about it, but once we heard that we were going to perform, we kind of were the ones who were promoting it almost, so it was kind of like we didn't necessarily hear about it through anything else. We kind of told everyone else about it, you know. I'm glad that everyone has come out to support this and are here, and donations are going to that. It's very important.
While the Harvest Festival may be over this year, it seems to have been a success. Fall fundraising is in full effect here at Barker Commons. I'm Patrick Ryan, Channel 8 Update for Donia.
Oh, if you or a friend would like to join Habitat for Humanity, contact them on social media. For more information, yeah, that's it.
Prove me wrong once again. Hey Patrick.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. It's
You're
been a
good.
bit of a busy day.
Today, what's the weather looking like out there today?
It was pretty sunny today, actually.
Was it?
More on that. So although I said that last week fall seems to be on its way, the weather had to prove me wrong once again. This past weekend we did see a little bit of rain and some quite chilly weather, but we're bouncing back up again for the next week. Throughout this next week, we're going to have temperatures in the high 60s into the low 70s throughout the rest of this week. We will be seeing a lot more of the sunshine as well through this next weekend, although we can expect a little rain starting on Tuesday. With the rain next week, we can also expect the temperature to drop into the 50s and maybe even 40s next Wednesday. I would like to say that the weather is finally cooling down, but at this point, there really is no way to tell.
All right, well, Lucas, we thank you for that.
Of course, my pleasure.
Is it raining out there yet? Or
It's not raining right now. It
No?
is. No, I just had to take a bit of a walk, but it's dry
A bit
for
of
now.
a walkity walk. Olivia, how was your day
Oh,
today?
it's perfect weather out there.
It's good?
Like choice.
A nice sweater, some sweater weather, if you
For
will.
sure. We'll return with your national news in just a few minutes. But first, this is a Channel 8 update on WNYF TV.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
I dare you. I dare you to change the world. Yeah, you. Getting that college education.
I dare you to be somebody important.
Like be a teacher. Or a reality TV star.
I dare you to stand up here.
To call the shots.
To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher.
Think you can change my life?
Make me excited about science like you.
Have a career that really means something?
Then do it.
I dare you. I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me
And me.
help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android.
This is awesome.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
I got a crick in my neck, limp in my step, cramping in my muscles every time I try to flex. But if you're throwing love off the way some more.
Back. In Queens, New York, 2 men have been put under arrest on Monday night after being charged for a drive-by, not with guns, but with paintballs. Blue paint is splattered on a building on 77th Avenue in Glendale. Quote, I heard the pop and then the pain, and it was like you automatically assume gunshots, end quote, said victim Larry Interante. Interant was hit in the back, leaving him with a golf ball-sized welt. NYPD did catch the 2 men, a 18-year-old and a 22-year-old, and the cause was a colorful mess. Olivia?
It's been more than 3 weeks since Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico, and relief doesn't seem to be coming anytime soon. Without safe drinking water, forcing people to collect water from a federally designated hazardous waste site over the weekend. Lines stretched as people waited to fill jugs with water for drinking and bathing from this site. Nydia Velasquez, the first Puerto Rican congresswoman, went after President Donald Trump after the president tweeted on Thursday, quote, we cannot keep FEMA, the military, and the first responders who have been amazing in the most difficult of circumstances in PR forever, end quote. Congresswoman Velasquez told the nation how she felt in a speech to the House Financial Services Committee. Velasquez said, quote, why is it he doesn't put the same tweets when it comes to Texas or Florida, end quote. She then offered the president a history lesson on how Puerto Rico became a United States territory, stating, quote, "Puerto Rico didn't invite the United States Armed Forces, they were invaded. So with that invasion comes responsibility," end quote. Velasquez ended her speech by saying, quote, "So those tweets are unpresidential, the most basic fundamental responsibility of the President of the United States, the President of the most powerful country in the world, is to show up and provide the assistance and relief that American citizens need," end quote.
A gunman is on the loose today in Harford County, Maryland, after a shooting this morning. The shooting suspect, Radilaib Prince, shot 5 people, killing 3 and wounding 2 at a Maryland home remodeling business. Prince is also believed to be the suspect of another shooting later the same morning. Prince worked at the Maryland business Advanced Granite Solutions in Edgewood for the last 4 months, and he was scheduled to work there Wednesday, said Jeffrey Galler, sheriff of Harford County, Maryland. Investigators believe Prince, age 27, drove away in a 2006 Black Acadia with Delaware license plates. Officer Garrell, said, quote, "We do not believe there's an immediate threat to the community. We do believe that there was a target with qualifiers that there is an armed and dangerous suspect out there," end quote. 5 schools in the Edgewood area were put in lockdown as a precaution at the advance of the sheriff's office. The county school system said on their website the lockdown eventually was lifted shortly after noon. The 2 victims are in critical condition at Baltimore's Shock Trauma Center.
Thank you. Channel 8 Update correspondent Josh Rainey gives a look inside popular campus media outlet Fredonia Radio Systems.
You're listening to WCVF FM 88.9 The Voice.
Good enough for this many years. You can murder one person.
Yeah. I will say
According to FRS business manager Marilia Riva Andrade, budget season can be a scary time.
Okay, so it was actually terrifying. I wasn't even on e-board yet, but I was going to be business manager, so I went and I witnessed it.
Jason Chung, the Student Association comptroller, is on the other side of that terrifying meeting.
So basically for this position, my job is, firstly, I guard the assets of Student Association.
Which may turn out to be larger than most people realize.
Around 1.3 million.
Despite this, every group was expected to make cuts.
We got lucky for the most part. We didn't get a lot of things cut. We were also able to reduce our budget a lot personally.
According to Chung, those reductions turned out to be 20% of their overall budget. Nevertheless, FRS continues to top the charts as they have been for decades now.
Students here at Fredonia Radio Systems have been gracing the airwaves for nearly 40 years, and this past year made a big splash on a big stage.
The big hardware we brought home was winning Best Station in the Nation.
At the Intercollegiate Broadcast Conference in New York City, FRS beat out radio stations from across the country.
And from there, they chose the best station in the entire nation, and we won that.
So despite the budget headaches and nerves, Fredonia Radio Systems still managed to reign in national notoriety. For Channel 8 Update, I'm Josh Rainey.
With hockey. I love it, but I don't know.
Josh, we thank you. And now for your sports with Aaron Sumber. Aaron, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
You're doing great? All right,
Yeah.
take it away.
Good evening, everyone. Fredonia's women's tennis team won their last game of the season in a 5-3 win over Oswego State. They won in the consolation round of the SUNYAC Women's Tennis Tournament. The singles winners were Olivia Miller, Adriana Speech, and Avril King. Olivia Miller and Anna Chichia won their doubles match. Quote, "The women fought through adversity," head coach Greg Contalano said. Another quote, "They played 3 times in 3 consecutive days, and they were playing without Sarah Buck, our sensational freshman," end quote. Bunk did not play due to academic commitment. That led to her first and only loss of the season. Sunday was the final match of Captain Chloe Karninski's collegiate career. She finished with an all-time record of 17-8, which puts her in a tie for 7th in the team's all-time list. In local even more sports, WNYF's very own Ethan Francis placed an impressive 3rd this past Saturday at the University of Rochester's Yellow Jacket Invitational Cross Country Meet. Ethan covered the 8,000-meter Genesee Valley Park in 26 minutes and 11.3 seconds. It was his closest finish to first place since the 2016 Blue Devil Invitational, which he finished second. And in national sports, last night, the NBA season tipped off with exciting games. The Warriors faced off against the Rockets and lost in the fourth quarter by 1 point. The Rockets were led by All-Star James Harden, who had 27 points, 10 assists, and 6 rebounds. The final score is 122 to 121. And the second game of the season starter was Boston Celtics versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. In the beginning of the game, Celtics star Gordon Hayward broke his ankle and will be out for 6 months. The Cavaliers won 102 to 99.
Aaron, thank you.
All right, and we'll be back in just a minute after this short break.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit SaveTheFood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
I realized that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. It's got nothing to do with fairness. Bam. Your whole world changes in an instant. And you never see it coming. That's what happened to me. The day my mother had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke. F-A-S-T. Fast.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah. Bro?
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month. That's a lot. Isn't that a lot? Go visit SaveTheFood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
We had a bit of a rainy weekend, but the weather is now clearing up as we continue through this week. Summer isn't ready to go out quite yet, and that's really evident through the sunshine and heat we can expect in the next week. Let's take a quick look at our 5-day forecast. As soon as we get it up here. 1 second. There we are. Okay, so we have a 7-day outlook this week. So as today, you can see we had sunny weather, 67 degrees. Tomorrow we have a high of 66 degrees, partly cloudy. Friday we can see mid-60s, again sunny. This weekend we're popping up into the 70s, partly sunny. It's going to be a warm one. And then as we move into the beginning of next week, we can start to expect some more rain coming through. We have temperature dropping back into the low 60s, maybe even the high 50s. So again, it looks like we're heading into the fall season again, but not sure. The weather might spike again next week. Stay tuned, everyone.
Victory in the ongoing fight against ISIS. The city of Raqqa has been liberated by the U.S., backed by Syrian Democratic Forces. The expelling of ISIS from Raqqa is symbolic of the terror group's declining strength. Up until now, the city was effectively the capital of ISIS's self-proclaimed caliphate, Paradise Square. Paradise Square, the now infamous location in the center of the dilapidated city, was the site of numerous beheadings, crucifixions, and other war crimes committed by the organization. The Syrian Democratic Forces still face small pockets of resistance, as well as the threats of mines and sleeper cells within the urban area. ISIS now controls only a small length of territory located along the Euphrates River in northern Syria. Although their territorial claims may be diminishing, we cannot underestimate the speed at which their radical ideology spreads.
An Italian professor who has been identified as Anna has won the right to sick pay after she took time to care for her sick dog. The University of Rome was hesitant to give Anna the paid time off until she appealed and demanded her right for paid time off as a public servant with legal advice from the Italian something league, an animal rights organization. Anna argued that Italy's penal code says that abandonment and keeping an animal in conditions that may cause it to suffer are crimes that are punishable with jail or a hefty fine. The university reconsidered the case, and Russia pulled in favor of Anna, granting her leave, allowances that traditionally used for employees dealing with serious personal or family problems.
Finally, the Muslim people of Rohingya are often considered the most oppressed minority in the world, have long faced harsh discrimination in Buddhist-majority Myanmar, but their situation has risen to a crisis level in the past few months, according to the Associated Press. Over 500,000 refugees, 60% of them children, have fled into Bangladesh since late August. Hundreds have been killed in their home villages, and hundreds more have been injured from gunshot wounds. Researchers estimate that within only 5 villages they examined, hundreds of Rohingya people were killed, prompting the researchers to consider the dozens of other locations not yet examined. The Myanmar government denies any allegations of ethnic cleansing, but the interviews with refugees and satellite images of burned villages reveal the reality of the situation. Refugees have purportedly been identified their attackers as the members of the Myanmar army because of their insignia and uniforms, and the Rohingya people have stated sexual violence towards women and young girls is not uncommon during these attacks. A drone video released Monday shows a line of a few miles long of thousands of refugees walking along a flooded riverbank to Bangladesh, but many were stopped at the border by the Bangladeshi government. UNICEF of the United Nations would need $76 million to help just the children refugees, but the organization has received less than 10% of that, making the situation an even more dire crisis.
All right, Olivia, thanks so much. And before we go, we want to take a peek inside of our control room and say hello to our crew members, see how they're doing today. All right, hey guys, good to see all of you. Some beautiful faces in there, that's for sure. All right, and be sure to tune in at Fred Before Bed, which airs at 10 p.m. tonight. Catch us on Facebook. We are on the web, that's for sure. Am I right, Olivia?
You are right,
Excellent, all right. So on behalf of the entire Channel 8 Update crew, thanks so much. Good night.